Success. Sorry for this ridiculousness. Again, new platform. Love this platform. By the way, you can get your Meetin account or you can get your Be Connected account for free just by going to beconnected.com. And it is like something you've never seen before. It's like having LinkedIn and Zoom at the same time. Zoom limits you to 40 minutes on their free account, which is, that's okay. Be Connected, you get 100, or you get 1 hour. You get a 60-minute time limit for free. Zoom, you have a limited number of people who can join you. That's not expensive. Be Connected, I believe that number is 100. So that's 100 minutes, or I'm sorry, 60 minutes with 100 guests. And you get all that for free. Now, if you decide that you would like to join Be Connected and the Meetin, if you like the way that this all looks, you can see everything around me. You come over here to the little, I would be honored. Here, let me see if I do this right. Yeah, right up in here. I would be honored if you would join me. If you click on that button, it goes to our Calendly. If you go down, down here, there we go. Oh, almost. All right, right in there. And you click on that, you can visit our website from here. Okay. You can also, this is just like everything else. You've got your chats, you've got everything else on it. It is customizable. There are a few things that they're still working out. This is a newer program. So please be ready for that. I've got to say this, as you guys can all see, I'm a little scruffy right now, a little unkempt. The age is showing in the beard, but that is because I am proud to say my New Jersey Devils, in which most of you guys know, I am a huge, huge, huge hockey fan. I love my New Jersey Devils. I was born in New Jersey. New Jersey started their life. The Devils started their life in Kansas City as the Kansas City Scouts, and then they moved to Denver. They were the Colorado Rockies. Then they moved to New Jersey. Awesome. I started my life in New Jersey. I was born in New Jersey, then moved to Colorado, then moved to Kansas. So kind of the exact opposite. Of course, then I got the hell out of Kansas and I came back to Colorado because, I didn't lose my mind. So, so now if the Devils would just come back here to Colorado, well, if they were in Colorado, we wouldn't get to watch them because, Colorado fans aren't worth watching their games. Their hockey fan or their local hockey team ownership doesn't want us to be able to access their hockey team. So by the way, Comcast, Cronky Sports, cut it out, get a deal done. People want to support you. They're not going to support you if you're going to keep this up. Anyway, we are starting on Monday at 11 Eastern in the morning, 9 here Mountain Time, 8 Pacific, and of course 10 Central. Mayday, we have a problem. What is Mayday? We have a problem. Well, it is, as I was stating before, it is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful group of business people that I work with, in all facets of business. Also, some great people who have been with me throughout my 22-hour podcast. February 22nd, for the last 2 years, I've done a 22-hour podcast. This year, or this upcoming year, I will be doing it, God willing, here on Meetin on Be Connected. what that's about is veteran suicide. At the current numbers, we're losing 47 veterans a day. It's too many. It's just too many. Here's a little bit of information about Mayday. We have a problem. Let me do this here real quick. I'm sorry. I should have probably done this before, but you know, it's been a little hectic. So, but this will just take a minute. What we're doing is we're putting our businesses aside. Yes, we are going to talk about our businesses. We're business people. That's what we do. But the main purpose of this is try to find and try to introduce programs throughout the United States and throughout the world that can help people in very difficult and very trying situations. Once again, you do not heal like I heal. I do not heal like you heal. One person's need or functioning better with medications, for some people that's just not going to work. Somebody can sit in a prayer circle and that's going to work great for them. Not for everyone. Okay. Look, I'm just going to say it right now. We're going to be honest about this. Some people like to use THC to help reduce stress. This doesn't mean that we condone THC. Doesn't mean we don't. What it does is it allows everyone to know that there are ways out there that you, who is the most important person, you can feel confident when you come to us and ask, hey, look, this is my situation. Do you have someone I can talk to? We're going to build a database that you can take and you can plug in. This is my situation. This is my problem. This is who I am. These are my, and it's going to bring you to people who can say, we've got you. We've got your back. We're going to be talking, I'm going to be, I'm going to replay a video from late last year. And when we first started Rediscover the Happy Place, again, you're going to see a defunct website scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Please do not use that website. That website is no longer. We are building a new website. Mr. Z from Z World Webs, who you're going to see some information on here real quick. He is helping us rebuild a website so we can get that launched by Monday. But this is a little bit more information about Mayday. We have a problem. Again, this is a meeting, or this is an interview I did with Bill Willis, and he is a spokesperson for a wonderful telehealth program, to where what they are doing is they are attempting to bring telehealth to your company. You can offer your employees telehealth solutions, which I think is something that should, why wouldn't you do this? In the time and age that we are right now, where people are having problems, this could be one of the best things for you. Once again, my name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay Up Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channels. This is our first show on Meetin' and the Hive with Be Connected. I'm very proud to be here. I want to thank everybody for working with me and helping me get through this crazy, crazy process. But this is Bill Willis. Bill Willis is one of our community Pay It Forward giving partners, and we are proud to bring you this interview.
Things, well, this is one way. We've got to find that comfort level dealing with people with their own mental disability, mental illness, and mental hardship. So joining me right now is Bill Willis and David Patrick. Bill, you and I have been talking the last couple of days. You're about ready to be coming on to the Community Pay It Forward program. And you told me about David Patrick and his wonderful program. Why don't you give us a little bit of an idea on what you do first, Bill, and then we'll move on to the introduction of David.
Absolutely. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, my primary business has been in the medical healthcare, especially in the medical cost sharing healthcare business. I've done traditional insurance over the years, but I'm particularly working in the medical cost sharing. And one of the things that has become abundantly clear is that there's a real issue in our nation for mental health. Suicide rates are up, depression, anxiety, all these factors are entering in, not just into the public schools, but the universities, nonprofit world, as well as the employer world. And it's something that needs to be addressed. We're at the highest levels we've ever had in those arenas. And National Telehealth Solutions and David's group, I've partnered with because I think they've stepped up and provided programs that meet the needs of these particular areas.
Yeah, David, you're welcome to the program. Can you please tell us what exactly is the National Telehealth Solutions?
We are obviously a telehealth provider. We provide healthcare virtually through several providers. Specifically, as we're on this cast about, is to provide mental health care to a population. We work with school districts, we work with individuals, we work with employers, universities to provide a virtual health care for mental care that provides an access and scalability to folks that a lot of people haven't seen in the marketplace yet. So we're very excited as we continue to roll this out to make this available to a lot of folks.
You guys saw a huge issue with one of the problems, and that's accessibility, and you guys are taking a huge step on in which there's still a challenge there. We understand that, but you guys are taking a huge step forward. Can you explain what that huge step was and what you guys are trying to do?
Sure. I think part of the difficulty we have with mental health care to this point is the accessibility you mentioned. We have a lot of wait times in our part of the world across the country. So what we were able to do is put this program together where we have kind of a 4-stage program. From digital content, which is very active and thousands of applications for different scenarios, general coaching, counseling, and also licensed care as well as full psychiatry. So I think as we've talked before about it, the key is that we have a triage program that's really never been done well in mental health because of the enormous demand that's on our existing counselors and psychiatrists. The accessibility and the scalability is very difficult. So I think our program, because of the virtual nature and we triage better, with the challenges someone have, gives us the ability to really cover a lot more people virtually. And then obviously, as we talked before, if there's needs for referrals outside of a network or two, physical counseling and psychiatry, those things can be done. But a lot of problems we see in mental care don't necessarily revolve around some of the things we kind of been told and stigmatized over the years. A lot of folks just need somebody to talk to and some good general counseling and good general mentoring and advice, and can help with a lot of the stress and problems they have. The other thing I think, Zach's the key to our programs, that we make our services available to the entire household. And that's very critical as well, especially in some of the different populations we work in, because as we've talked, mental challenges, whether they're severe or just day-to-day stress that we're dealing with, always are going to affect the household, one either back towards or away from. So it's important that I think we provide that access for the household as well.
Yeah, there's never been a case of one person suffering and the rest of the family living happily. That's kind of not the way that it goes. Bill, what led you to wanting to get involved with this program?
Well, in my working with employees of companies and nonprofits, and realizing that this is becoming an issue there, and they're looking for answers. And one of the things we provide in our program is telemedicine. And it's worked very successfully. I talked to people 3 or 4 years ago. We were providing it, but half the people I talked to had never heard of it. With COVID and what it's developed over the last couple of years, now probably the majority of the people know what telemedicine is. And as much as we provide for our members, the one thing that I felt has always been lacking, we do have some mental health portions of it, but it's not to the degree of what National Telehealth Solutions provides. And I've worked out a situation where we can even block our own telemedicine and bring theirs on board to supplement ours. But the main issue is that people need to get help. And there is a stigma sometimes about them walking into an office, especially with a younger person, and not wanting to identify with having a problem. But they still need that issue, whatever it is. It may be very important to us, and it may, or to them, but it may not seem like that much of an important issue to us. But for them, it could be the one thing that just sets them over the edge. And like David said, if we can save one person, that will be a wonderful thing.
Our mission for the next, for the next while is to save one life a week. And the reason why we say save one life a week is because you cannot save two until you save the first one. So, it's always one, and keep building on that. David, can you say that you guys have a 4-tier program? Can you please explain the 4 tiers?
Yeah, the 4 tiers of our program, we have digital access, which is kind of one of the, it works within the other 3 stages or in the tiers.
Mhm.
The second level up from that would be what we call general counseling, mentoring, and coaching. After that level, we have the licensed care, which includes psychology and that kind of thing. And then the full-blown doctor care with the psychiatry level, which, for the advanced cases that has a capability for prescriptions and ongoing maintenance. Those 2 higher levels are always done on a scheduled basis. Our general coaching and counseling has 24/7 kind of very quick access usually. Sometimes if you have someone in particular you want to deal with, it might take a little time to wait for them. But once we get to that higher level care, it can be, several days out to get scheduled. It's not a 2-hour type turnaround situation like sometimes it is in the other care levels. And I think the thing that's important too is that one of the barriers to accessibility is cost. We do a great job of folks become our members regardless of what size group that they come from. And then that program in most cases has a has 0 copays, 0 cost, unlimited access, so they can maintain their care at those lower levels. Sometimes some of our programs, you get in higher psychiatric care, there may be a copay involved, but it's a third of what normally is in the marketplace. So very affordable, whether it's for group paying or whoever, and being able to have that access to those staged cares, again, as we've talked earlier, that really helps us with a lot of the triage that's needed in the mental health care arena.
What are some of the things, David, that can help you guys continue this mission? Are you guys looking for additional therapists? Are you looking for people to step up and help you out in any way?
I think the main thing is the exposure. Our number, if we go sales 101, our number one objection when we're presenting our program to a potential client is the too good to be true, what am I missing? When you take out the enormous volume of folks that we can have enrolled in our program, it helps us scale as well with the clinicians. And those are obviously we're always looking for and always become part of our network. So we have a lot of folks that want to provide services through our platform. There's obviously, we're pretty strict on our qualifications for what's required for some of the higher level care, some of the general coaching, but most of the stuff we do is going to require a certain amount of degrees. So we're very careful about making sure we have clinicians that are qualified to provide whatever level of care they might be in. As far as us as a company, our biggest challenge, and that's why we team up with folks like Bill, it's just, leverage the multiple networks of people reaching out to people and getting the word out of what we can do is our number one objective. The owners and partners in the company, that's what we do every day, is more exposure, and that pays back a lot of dividends because we're getting out to a lot more people, through a lot more people.
How do these schools and these businesses, these organizations, how did they get a hold of you guys? What did they need to do to try to utilize your services?
obviously getting a hold of our agents like Bill is one of the primary access points. Usually in an area, if they reach out to us through one of our sites or one of our connections, we'll refer them back to one of our agents. In this case, with working with you guys, it's going to be reaching out to Bill, and he coordinates those efforts with us, to make sure we get them access to the information they need. All the folks like Bill are, we've got them, they understand our program, they're trained, it's like they're part of us, even though a lot of times we have relationships with independent folks, very much part of our network, and get all the updates when they're needed and know what's going on. So with you guys, he would be the lead on this thing. And if something happened with a lot of connections that it was more than he or his group could handle, we always have people. Bill spend some time with some of our other folks that can step in and help out if something's really catching on fire and going like crazy. So we have complete scalability as a company as well to support Bill and his activities if something gets out of control, that he's, in a good way, that he's still very much in charge of and oversees.
Yeah, Zach, you mentioned one of the other things that appealed to me about it is that it is a very affordable program, and it doesn't interfere with any of the other programs that the customer may have, no matter what they are, whether it's a employer group or a store or what have you. It's a standalone system that can be in on itself. It doesn't have to be tied into another insurance program or anything else. And in some programs, there's even money available out there in the marketplace to help pay for it through some of the funds that were available through COVID.
Bill, are there incentives for employers too? I mean, and this is crazy for me to say, okay, having to ask if there's an incentive for an employer, because the truth is your employees' mental health should be an incentive enough. Are there incentives right now that the government are giving people to enroll in programs like this?
There may be a part of the funding for the new, I think it was a gun control legislation, was for funding for mental health. And I haven't seen all the outcome from it yet, but it's an affordable program. And the key to the employers is it will help their health in their existing plan and their existing workforce. Because people that will get help it'll save them work time. And so it can be an asset to that company just by providing it to help with their, their own absenteeism and things like that for sickness and health issues. Dave, you may want to kind of add on to that, but
we talk a lot too, Zach. We're not here to sell on fear or anything like that. But one of the things employers have to look at, and some other groups, is that not having a good comprehensive mental health plan in place, and that's way beyond what's typically available with some EAPs and some other outside services referring out. We have a lot of HR directors get people in their offices, don't know what to do with them. Having a place for people to have access anonymously, so to speak, is very critical. And we tell employers all the time what you have to start looking at is a liability issue here. If you have a complete comprehensive mental health care program like ours that stands alone, a lot of people won't use a health provider, mental health provider, because it ties their insurance, or the employer might find out about it. Now they're in the records with the insurance company. It's going to be a pre-existing condition. We hear all those things all day long. That can be a huge liability for an employer if something happens. And with our service, it's going to give them another layer of protection that a lot of times we're talking to legal departments and bigger companies that they're recognizing the need to have this type of access. And then it's, again, as we market our program as a standalone benefit for multiple groups, including nonprofits and that kind of thing. It's a great way to add on to existing benefits, or if employers don't have any benefits, a great benefit to add into the programs. So liability is becoming a huge issue for employers with not having access to a good mental health care program. That I think we really fill that gap very well.
Again, it's a little crazy that we have to go that far, that we have to talk about, that these companies have to be convinced to do something like this. I mean, there are situations out there right now that can be prevented if they just get ahead of things. Tell me, guys, and this is kind of a personal question for both of you guys, but Bill, I'm going to start with you. What is one thing that you would suggest if you see someone? What would be something that you would suggest to somebody to seek help? If you see one action, what would you say? You know what? Maybe you need to go and seek help.
Well, that's a difficult question, but
it truly is. But it's one of those things that we need to be a little more aware.
Yeah, I would tell them to start at the entry level, and I would recommend something like this. From the employer standpoint, the employer does not have to contribute to this either. They can, and many do, but it can be very low cost, as I mentioned. And I think the fact that I would recommend somebody that because of the health side of it, the telemedicine side, where they can go on anonymously and get set up. They don't have to make a phone call to a local doctor's office or what have you to get it, or announce it to their employer, as David said, or to their school system or school counselor or whoever. But it's something that they just to talk to somebody. And it's something that they, you know, sometimes a basic conversation can help head off something, and referring them into one of the videos that can lead them through some questions that will help answer their anxiety or their need. But it's a little hard to say other than that, because you don't know whether it's a suicide issue or an anxiety, or just somebody like David mentioned that flunked a test or something. And, you know, maybe some basic conversations can help walk that person through it and realize that if that's the worst thing that happens to them that day, that'll probably be a good thing.
Well, and David, let me go on ahead and switch this question. What kind of reaction are you guys getting with people in general? Are you seeing a lot of success with this?
We are, as I said in the beginning, one of our biggest hurdles to overcome is too good to be true. You know, how can you do this and offer this level of service and this stage and comprehensive care and all the things we talked about for some of the membership points, prices that we're doing it at. But as far as once folks are in, I think the biggest surprise we probably have is how comprehensive our digital program is. I think a lot of people have used that over the years with some of the existing programs. And this is a very advanced digital program that we have to help folks get through those dailies as they're maybe looking towards a session with a counselor or a psychiatrist, whatever. That's a huge part of it. And I think you have to be careful about saying this too loud, but it kind of encourages people to face their mental health challenges head on. And I don't mean just a daily, but you know, the real stuff that's starting to really dig in and bother you, and face them head on. And then quite frankly, I think our program, as it develops more and more, and we've had it out now for about a year, it's also proving that it's teaching folks how to take care of themselves a little better. And I think that's a big part of it, because a lot of the communities we deal with, the populations we deal with, some of the HR directors are just so frustrated, the HR directors, because they just don't, people come in with issues that 25 years ago were not that big a deal, and now they're, you know, somewhat overwhelming to them. And the coping skills, as a basic example, are very lacking in a lot of the generations overall. And those type of things, just teaching those can help a lot with, you know, downfield issues. So I think that's a big part of it. The reception's been great. Once you get over that kind of first hurdle of something, I must be missing something here, and then they experience the program. It's kind of like one of those deals with the puppy dog. Once you play with it for a couple of days, you know, you've got them as a customer, and that's what we're seeing pretty consistently.
I think that frustration with HR departments, it's, you know, there's got to be a different level of tolerance, because there's so many different, you know, and you know, this is part of the movements that are nowadays. You know, everything is being retaught in different ways, and you got to take everybody, you know, everybody's thoughts into consideration, which is something we should have always been doing, always been doing. But now it's become so very important, because, you know, look, differences are here, and we need to respect people. So, gentlemen, I greatly appreciate this. David, one more time, how do people get a hold of you guys?
I'll give you my information, and then I can get a hold of David. There'll be a connection on my website. I'm just developing it now for a specific area. So when we get set up, there will be a connection there to link to for more information. But that would be the main. I would be the main touch point, and then I'll bring whoever I need to into it. And again, back to your question before, I think one of the things that it seems like most people need is to know that they're not alone and facing things alone, and that there is help there, and they can get it privately, and they're, you know, it gets rid of that stigma that they sometimes feel like they're facing.
Bill, I would like to thank you very much for introducing us to David and introducing us to this wonderful program. David, I would like to thank you very much for your time on joining us.
Thank you.
We hope to see you guys again on August 15th. Hey, everybody, this is just one more of the groups that are out there. This is just one more program that's out here. If you know of a program who's out here trying to help us navigate this difficulty of mental health, we encourage you to please give us a call, 970-909-0751. 970-909-0751. We want to hear about it. We want to let people know about it, because you know what? What they don't know is hurting them. So let's make sure that we get everything out and very clear to people. We're here. We want to help. All right. Again, David, Bill, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. And you guys keep up the great work. Okay.
Zach,
Yeah,
thank you for what
we'll
you're
follow
doing
up
as
with
well.
you.
We appreciate it.
And no
Yeah.
problem. Thanks, guys.
So that was in August. Okay, that was in August of last year, and there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of updates to everything. And as you guys saw in the video before this, 2000 ended, and here's the sad part. Okay, 2000, the year 2000, the beginning of 2000 showed us that there was a chance that this can change. Because from 2018 to 2020, there was a drastic drop in suicides, starting in 2018 to the beginning of 2020. Then all of a sudden, COVID hit. And look, COVID did nothing good for anyone. It really didn't. And it's just one suicide every 11 seconds. This is the reason why my friends and I are doing this together.
Hey, everybody. I'm here with a great friend, great partner. You guys have seen him before. Michael, this is like the third time that you've joined us. ERTC, right? Is what
That's right.
It's coming to an end.
Yeah, it's coming to an end in the first quarter of next year. And then you can only go back 3 years to actually modify your tax return, and that's what they have to do. Okay, so in the first quarter of next year, which would be 2023, 2020 will fall off the map. And the first quarter of the following year, 2025, 2021 will fall off. But we don't know. They might extend it. They're always kind of massaging it, but that's how it stands right now. It's still going strong. We still have plenty of funds in there. And I want to reach out to as many people as possible to get them to cash in on that ERTC funding.
You are right now, you've decided to make a little bit of a change, because as you and I just talked about before we started recording, you're getting those same phone calls that I'm getting, that, you know what, your business is available, you know, you can get this $26,000, in which, no, my business can't. Yeah, and so people are getting those phone calls. Mike, let me ask you this question. Do you think that's kind of scaring people away from it? Because
Absolutely.
it
Absolutely.
sounds like a scam.
Yeah, right. Anytime somebody calls you and says, the government is going to give you free money, it just raises all kind of red flags. How about that? How many times has that happened to you? You know, when you get a call or you come home and your mom's on this YouTube channel and they got her listening to this thing for 45 freaking minutes. And at the end of it, they want her to spend $69 a month for something that's gonna, you know, help your incontinence or something
Yep.
or whatever, or improve your cholesterol. And they got
Yep.
all these stories, and it's like, Mom, please, please, please don't do that, because they're gonna want money by the end of this thing. And it's just like that, but it's crammed into a little voicemail. Hello, it's Abby. I'm sorry I missed you, but I did call yesterday, and you qualify for up to 26,000 for each employee, but we need to talk soon. So give me a call. Here's the
Yeah.
number.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
We've
They
been
don't know.
trying to get a hold of you for weeks now. We're running out of time to get you this $26,000. And I'm like going, oh, all right.
Every time you turn around, you hear someone talking about it. The thing that I do different is I work with a local attorney, and he has a team of attorneys that are assigned to each client, and a CPA team that does one thing and one thing only, ERTC benefits. And the advantage of that is that we can dig down deeper than some other CPA or accountant department and find out, you know, how we can make this work. For example, let's say a guy bought a business in January of 2022. He didn't even own it during the COVID years. We can go back to that previous owner and have him refile his taxes with us, and they would split that 500,000 or whatever it is they're getting out of the deal. So we can kind of do some more things that other companies can. Not to say that that happens all the time, but this is the thing with a regular CPA and an accountant department. Those guys are not experts in ERTC funding.
You know, we're getting a lot of notifications here in Colorado about 20-year restaurant closing because they could not make it after COVID. These are the kind of people that need to call you immediately, because this is something that could get them that expendable cash that can lift them back up and get them back to where they need to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is free money that's available to anybody that had the slightest bit of struggle over 2020 or 2021 due to COVID. They don't have to have a 50% loss in business compared to 2019 or a 20% loss in 2022. They could have made more money. And if they had a partial shutdown that was mandated by any government agency, boom, automatic qualification. Yeah. And it's a lot easier now than when it was. And even if they had to shift their sales force around, spend some money on cleaning supplies, or maybe pivot their business because they couldn't get parts to make their widgets or whatever it was, there's 3 different categories. And what I've made available to people now is a really simple green light, red light spreadsheet. So you put in your earnings for those 3 years, and if it's good, it'll light up green. And then you go down to the bottom, and if you had a green button there, it'll be a partial shutdown by a government agency. And another one would be they had to pivot their company. Any one of those areas, we're good to go. And then I'll give them a little calculation, because if they did PPP, they can still file for ERTC, which a lot of people still don't know, but yes, you can. And it's not a problem. It might take away from the maximum amount of ERC of 26,000 per W-2 employee, might be 10, 11, 12, but hey, that's $10,000 for each W-2 that you don't have to pay back.
You mean I wouldn't get 26,000? I'm not going to do it. You know, 10,000, who the hell needs $10,000?
Yeah, right. That's right. That's right.
This is not a loan.
No. This is like a tax refund. This is like money that's coming back to them. Then they call it a payroll tax credit. They call it a bunch of different things. It's almost like a PPP, but at the time in March of 2020, you had to choose PPP or ERC. All right. And people are stuck with that in their head, because that's when they did this last thing, was maybe 1 or 2 revs of PPPs. Fine. But now you can do both. And a lot of people still don't realize that they can do ERC. And there's a lot more money in there that was still available to people, and they open it up for everybody. You know, supply chain issues is one thing, but you just try to think about, you know, what companies did good and didn't have any effect of COVID. And you have a hard time coming up with a company like that. So most everybody is going to qualify. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and you know, you brought up the supply chain issue. No matter what you did, you know, no matter if you were deemed a an essential business, you still had issues getting, most likely you still had issues getting stuff in to
Right.
fulfill
Right.
your needs. So that is
Right.
something that really works on this. Um,
Right.
and this is the IRS actually doing something, and hold on to your hat. This is the IRS doing something good. Okay.
Right.
This is IRS saying, you know what, you did good. You kept your W-2 employees. Let's help you out.
That's right.
There are a couple drawbacks. It has to be W-2 employees.
That's right. Right. It has to be a US based employer that has W-2 employees. And if it's a family owned business, it cannot be any of the family members that count as an official W-2. So it has to be other W-2, which is usually not a problem. You know, maybe you have 2 or 3 people or whatever that are, associated with the family. Everybody else would count. And now the other thing you can think about is full-time versus part-time. So if they're full-time, we can go all the way up to 500 W-2 employees. Okay. So I would love to have a nonprofit that's listening to us right now with 499 W-2 employees. Give us a call. We'll get it going and we'll send everybody to Hawaii for a week. How's that?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, they can come and sit on your balcony with you right there, right?
That's right.
So,
That's all right. Hey, where's my drink? Hey, what's wrong with this?
so and then you like I said, you were going for a shift. You really want to start helping out a lot of the nonprofits, because a lot of the nonprofits, you know, nonprofits suffer just as much as everybody else. Nobody had the money to donate, so they did suffer. There were a lot of layoffs there. But you're also looking to try to help veteran organizations.
Right. Yeah, there are these groups of people that I think have been neglected as far as what kinds of funds are available to them just for simply applying. And I think veterans is an awesome group that has businesses just like anyone else that need to be supplemented by these funds that are available from the IRS. And let's face it, if you go to any CPA or accounting department and you start throwing around ERTC, this is what they're going to do. They go, we did PPP. I don't think we qualify. I think we're good. And then the guy's going to come back again and goes, I got a guy that says he can do ERTC for us. What do you think? He goes, well, to be honest with you, I really don't know anything about it. I don't know the first thing about applying, and I don't want to know because it's only going to be around 3 years. And after that, it's gone. I'm busy doing what I need to be doing. You got a guy, go ahead and talk to him, and maybe he can get it done. So this is the conversations that we have. So even if they've heard about it, they might not know how to apply. Supposedly it's like a 350-page manual that they got to learn to be able to do it. Not every CPA or accounting department can do it or do it right. That's the whole thing. You want to maximize this thing. You don't want it to have to come back in their face. And all of a sudden they got $250,000 out of ERC, and a year and a half later they want it back. No, that's not going to happen. That's with us. We have an attorney involved, so he puts his name on it, and if that happens, he'll go and audit it and make sure that they don't have to worry about those kind of things. So yeah, veteran-owned companies would be awesome. They should know about this, and if not, they should call me. We set up a 5-10 minute call with my attorney, and then they get a portal assigned to them where they upload their P&Ls, their 941s. They give them a letter of the PPP loan that was relieved, so they don't have to pay that back, and they're done. And then he'll crunch the numbers, and in 3 to 5 days, he'll tell them, I got $380,000 for you guys. What do you want to do? Yeah, let's do it. You wait maybe 6 months or so. It does take a little time for the IRS to pay out that money. They pay a 20% admin fee, which is standard now for ERTC, but nobody gets paid until they get the money. That's the big thing. And if we don't get any money, it doesn't cost them a dime.
Well, I think this is a wonderful program. And Mike, how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can give me a text at 847-903-8061. That's probably the best way. my phone is always available. Or if they want to email me, I'll give you the real easy one. It's just mikelatone@gmail.com. MikeLatone@gmail.com. Or 847-903-8061.
And you're not afraid to go on ahead and take on regular businesses as well?
No. For-profits, nonprofits, anybody that had a little bit of a struggle over COVID needs to give ERTC funding a chance to come up with some good money. I mean, up to $26,000 per employee. If they didn't do PPP, that's the maximum that they can get. If they did, they're still going to get 10, 12, 15,000. I had a guy that owned a garage repair shop here in the Midwest of Chicago. I think it was the Schaumburg area. I'm out in the northwest suburb, Barrington, 20 miles out from Chicago. But we went to a network event, and he's like, I don't know if is this legit. I go, absolutely. I go, send me what you got. He had 10 employees. I think 2 of them were family, so he had 8 employees. I got him $160,000 with 8 employees. And you know what? There was only 1 quarter from 2020 and 2021 that he took a hit as compared to 2019. So, everybody should apply. That's what it shows you right there. I thought maybe we're going to get $100,000. We almost got $200,000 for him. And he actually did better during most of the quarters after 2019. So you just need to apply and crunch the numbers. But, they did some things to rearrange their business to get through COVID, but it wasn't like catastrophic, but he's going to get $165,000. Yeah.
Well, and now, and just to let you guys know this, Michael is joining us. This is his 2nd year with us here at Community Pay It Forward. And so think about this. If you know somebody who struggled during COVID, a business owner who struggled during COVID, you could say, hey, look, 10-minute phone call, we could get you up towards 26,000 plus we can help somebody in need. All we need to do is contact Michael Latone. So, Mike, one more time, your phone number to send a text to?
Sure. 847-903-8061.
All right. That's Michael Latone. Hey, look, don't leave the money on the table. Look, the government, okay? If you don't get that money, that money's going to go somewhere, and it's not going to be where you want it to go. So let's make sure that all these small businesses, if you struggled at all, if you know somebody who struggled, convince them. It's 10 minutes. It doesn't cost anything. It's not a scam. This is true. This is available to them. 5 businesses with W-2 employees, nonprofits, veterans. Come on, let's get this going. Let's make sure that you get the money that you deserve.
Don't leave that money on the table, because it's a 10-minute call, literally. And don't be fooled by all these people advertising on the radio and leaving messages on your phone. You don't know where they're coming from. They don't know the first thing about your business. They just want to make some commission on whatever it is they're going to get. They could care less if it's a maximum amount or if it's a minimal amount or what they need to do to get that done. You don't want to get involved with those people. You got to work with us, because we're professional. I have an attorney. No one else has an attorney they work with. They work with an accounting department or a CPA that's been doing this because it's a little extra money. But we dig down deep and maximize that benefit. And that's what you need to do, because you're only going to do this once. You're only going to do it once, and then it's gone.
Yep. Very seldomly do you get a recorded message on your phone that's a good deal. So, so why fall for that? Let's talk to somebody, and let's do some good for people on the flip flop, as the young people say, the kids nowadays. So, Michael, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much. And we will do our best to keep working and getting some people to come your way. So
thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Not a problem.
Once again, that was Michael Latone. Hey, if you are following our page on Facebook, it's Small P ACT Podcast. Small P ACT Podcast. You can see one of our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful partners, Brian Gibson, is giving you some information about his program, which is Project Die Hard. Project Die Hard is one of the programs, and I'm speaking to everybody who's on the Hive right now with Be Connected, because this is our inaugural show on the Hive. So I appreciate you guys all sticking with me, and you know, this is an access for us to get out to 20,000 people. Getting programs like Project Die Hard out there to you guys is so important to me personally. Brian Gibson is one of the people that I envy. I don't envy him. I'm sorry. I respect him because he went through hell. He medicated himself with alcohol and put a gun in his mouth after serving our country. He pulled that gun out of his mouth because he heard the voice of God. And this is, look, I'm not pushing religion on anybody. What I'm pushing is that, damn it, we have to do something. We are losing too many people. Even one person every 11 seconds in this country in 2020. That was the first year of COVID. It scares me to death to see what the numbers were in 2021. Thank God we started getting back to, excuse this word, normalcy in 2022. One person every 11 seconds took their life. I want to thank Michael Latone. I want to thank Bill Willis, and I want to thank you guys for allowing me to come into your life, and especially everybody on Be Connected. This is our first time there. We will get all the bugs worked out. This is our first show on the Hive, so I was a little shaky. Okay, I was flat out shaky on this whole thing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I could have never done it without a really good, just a fantastic individual. And I really want to give him all the credit in the world. Well, first off, let me say this. I really want to thank Tanya Hoffman, co-founder of Be Connected. Look, I've been using StreamYard forever. I loved StreamYard. Been using Zoom even longer. I never had the co-host or co-founder of StreamYard or Zoom contact me. The co-hosts or the co-founders of Be Connected reached out to me. They heard about what we were doing. They reached out to us and they said, we can help. We can help you help all the nonprofits that you work with. Nonprofits like Brian Gibson at Project Die Hard. That is projectdiehard.org. Please go and check them out. Or you can see them by visiting our page. You can go to our website and you can find them. We're running a little bit over here, but you know what? I know the boss, and he's only gonna yell at me a little bit. So yeah, let me go on ahead and give you all this right here. I know this is poor radio, but it is what it is. Right here, you can find all of Brian's information. Geez. You can find all of Brian's information by going to our website, communitypayitforward.us. Communitypayitforward.us. There, I said it the PDF reading way. And if you go to that little link right there, that green little link, it's going to take you to landing pages. You go to that landing page, you scroll down, you're going to find Project Die Hard. You're going to be able to get a hold of him, and you're going to be able to do anything. Every Monday night, Brian has a show that's hosted by Zeta from Zeta's Healthy Beginnings, which just to let you know, is another mission partner of ours. But Project Die Hard has a show on there talking about everything that they need help with. I just wanted to take real quick and give you guys some information. And first off, all of this information can be found on the gallup.com workplace. This is economic cost for poor employee mental health. Okay. And this is the website on the bottom. If you click on that, it'll take you to the page that this is directly off of. I want to thank Gallup very much for letting me steal their information. I'm glad that you guys can do the work because I would say I don't have the time, but the truth is I'm just lazy. You know, I don't do anything. But this one is, you know, employees with inadequate mental health miss 4 times more work than workers that say their job is, let's see, more likely. Okay, there you go. They miss more time at work than those who have adequate access to mental health. This is where the Bill Willis interview comes in handy. If you offer convenient mental health programs to people, they can use them. Look, you tell somebody, okay, you need to go and see somebody for mental health, but you got to go in between the hours of 8 and 5. Oh, by the way, you work between 8 and 5. But to go and try to fix yourself, you got to miss out on money. It's not convenient. It's not convenient for anybody, and it doesn't help. As a guy who was injured, and as a guy who still to this day, quite honestly, still suffers with a lot of things, anything I do that takes money out of my family's pocket, if I have to cancel something because I need to go and do something else, it's not convenient, and it doesn't help with your mental stability. That interview with Bill Willis, what that's telling you is that, you know what, this is telehealth. Yeah, telehealth isn't the be-all end-all. It's not everything, but you know what? It's something. And if you walk away from somebody who's saying they have a problem, if you take and you say, look, I'll get back to you in a couple of days, we'll find something for you. Just be calm. You don't know if you're ever going to talk to that person again. You've really got to be careful. Okay? Small businesses, medium businesses, hell, large businesses, I don't care. Contact Bill Willis right here on our page. This, once again, is his landing page, Buckeye Health Alliance /Bill Willis. communitypayitforward.us/Buckeye-Health-Alliance-Bill-Willis. Or just go up to the top of the website and it says, just put in Bill, Buckeye Health Alliance is going to pop up. Generalized across the U.S. workforce, the cost of missing work was $47.6 billion in lost productivity. And I believe that, let me see if I can find out, this story was written in 2022. So that is a 2021 statistic. Now imagine this. This is $47.6 billion. And that is during a time when we were locked down. Imagine what that number is when we're up and running, like primarily we are now. Imagine what those numbers are, okay? Once again, this is, I'll just kind of give you the share or the look of what it looks like, the economic cost of poor employee mental health. So please check out this this read. It's not that long of a read, but I think it's very important. Okay. One of the things that they made sure that they pointed out, young and female workers are most likely to report poor mental health. And that's because of, you know, I'm going to call a spade here. I'm not afraid to do this. That's because of bias. That's because of just degradation. It's because of harassment. Okay. We know we've still got a long ways to go before we are treating each other like, you know, everyone is the same. I don't give a damn what side of the aisle you're on. We know there's still a long way to go. And if you want me to prove a point here, I can do that. Okay? If you're on the left, you think that the rights are incompetent. If you're on the right, you think the left is incompetent. By the way, I'm kind of center, so I think that you guys are all crazy. Just saying. Just saying. I'm center, and I know for a fact I'm a wackadoo. Please, once again, check out this wonderful, wonderful story. Again, thank you to the Gallup.com workplace. I again want to thank Meaton. I want to thank Be Connected. I want to thank Mike Raber, who yesterday, I'm sitting here pulling out my hair because I couldn't figure this program out at all. Mike Raber called me. Told me, calm down. We got this. We'll work at this together. Haven't got it all figured out yet. Just, I don't know how to get it onto YouTube, and I don't know how to get it onto my LinkedIn, and I don't know how to do all these other things yet. So I've still got a little ways to go. But you know what? This is what I do know. We have got this to where we are going to be able to, when you sign up using our link and you order Meaton, we're going to get a percentage of that at Community Pay It Forward. Okay? We get a percentage of that. What are we going to do with that percentage? 80% of any referral award that comes to Community Pay It Forward by any of our giving partners, our wonderful, wonderful giving partners, whether they be silver or platinum partners, you shop with them. In return, they're going to give us a referral award. We will ask you, hey, these are all the people who have asked us for help. People like our great friend Brian Gibson right here. Who do you want to support? And whatever your purchase was, whatever the referral award is to us, we're going to give anywhere from 80 to 90% to those organizations, those families in need, those kids who are trying to raise money for school, church, club activities, find themselves sick or injured. Veterans causes. We love our veterans. We absolutely love our veterans. By the way, it is Red Friday. You know what? We do still have people who are away from their homes. Always wear red on a Friday. Make sure that you remember everyone deployed. Please, Red Friday. I don't give a damn what your favorite sports team wants to call Friday. It is Red Friday. Remember everyone deployed. These kids made an oath to you in our country to serve and protect. Make sure you remember everyone deployed. You don't have to support wars, but by God, you should support the kids that have given up their lives, given up time from their friends, from their families. A lot of these young kids are just barely getting life started. Barely. Just got married. They're getting taken away, not taken, they volunteered to leave that life to go to serve the country. So remember, red. Remember, everyone deployed. If you want to find a new Red Friday shirt, go to communitypayitforward.us. Go to our shop. There's a couple red shirts that you can buy from our shop. They get specially made and sent to you, and we get a portion of that. Oh, and by the way, you get to tell us where you would like our portion, 80% of that portion to go. Everything that comes into us, we give away 80%. Okay, when it comes to the referrals, 80% of every referral that comes back to us goes to a mission that you support. You tell us who you support. We're not going to tell you who to support. Because like I was talking earlier, suicide, mental health, I am going to, I myself, I'm going to heal in a different way than you are. That's completely acceptable. But if we don't let people know what's out there, as I said before, in that video with Bill, what they don't know is killing them. And for those of you who are out there, and you are going to hear a lot of this, those of you who are out there who are contemplating on an end of life decision, please, I beg of you, please remember, no matter how softly you walk, you're going to leave footprints. And what that means, no matter how much you think people are going to not miss you, there are going to be people who miss you dearly. If you ever have any questions, if you ever have any problems, if you ever need to talk to somebody, we promise you one thing. We will not stop trying until we find someone who can talk to you. We are working on building a database that we can get people out there to talk to you. Give us a call, 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. You can go to any of our Facebook pages, LinkedIn. Be Connected. Go to Zach Clayton on BeConnected.com. Check it out. You can always get a hold of me there. Reach out, get our For My card, and reach out to us. We don't want to lose one more person. Our goal is to save one person every week because we cannot save two until we've saved one. Please love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. My name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channels. Thank you again for taking the time to spend with us on our inaugural meeting / Be Connected show. Sorry about all the problems. I would blame the motorcycle accident that I was in. I would blame the head issues, but the truth is I wasn't that smart to begin with. We will get them worked out because I'll have somebody standing behind me with a board that can smack me over the head when I make mistakes, I promise. If you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Please, carry an extra hoodie in your car. Elements kill. No matter if you're black, white, no matter if you're Christian, Muslim, no matter if you're Republican or Democrat. Elements will kill. Please carry an extra hoodie in your car just to protect people. If you've got extra food in your fridge, your spouse, make a little bit of extra food, throw it in the old hillbilly Tupperware. Zap it in the microwave. Take it to a place that you know someone's struggling to eat, because hunger kills. Folks, we're all we got. Let's take care of each other. Forget these petty differences. And community pay it forward, and all of our wonderful partners ask you to do one thing. Join us by coming together, and let's take care of each other. My name is Zach Clayton. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday at 11 a.m. East for the premiere of Mayday. We have a problem, talking about suicide and ways to offer help to people. We will be talking, we'll have our first interview and the introduction. It's a 1-hour show, which this show was supposed to be 1 hour, but you know, somebody likes to talk a lot. Damn furry guy. But please just remember, you know, we're a group of people who just want to help. So thank you very much. Have any questions, please give me a call, 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. If you have any events upcoming, for a $25 donation, which helps us keep our free outreach free, we will not only post on our calendar your event, we will also ask you to come onto our podcast and tell people about it. You have a nonprofit, you have a small, medium business. You want to tell people who you are, and what you do. It's a simple phone call. Right down below me is the phone number. At least I hope it's down there. If not, I'm just pointing to nothing. But hopefully it's down there. But it's a simple phone call, 970-909-0751. You give me a call, we'll get you on here. These are the PACT channels. We're here to talk about you, what you do, and your story. Because you know what? In your story, there's something in that story that's going to change someone's life. If we don't tell that story, we're missing out on an opportunity to help people. Again, my name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. I want to once again thank my wonderful guests. First off, I want to thank Brian for watching, and see, there I go again. Brian Gibson for joining us on Facebook. And by the way, go to the PACT channel and you can get all of his links. He did a wonderful job leaving his links on there. Thank you again, Brian, brother. You know, you're in my heart always, man. Much love to you. This is probably the longest we haven't talked one-on-one since we met. So that's kind of weird. Maybe we should catch up. But I want to also thank Bill Willis, and I want to thank Michael Latone, 2 Community Pay It Forward giving partners. You shop with them, they're going to donate to the cause that you support that's asked for our help. 970-909-0751. Thank you very much. Hey, let's get together. Let's come together and let's make this world a better place.